But we got another headline about our millionaire vampire guy. And the headline reads, Millionaire biohacker Brian Johnson, 46, claims he has reverse-aged his penis by 15 years using shock therapy on his genitals. He's aiming to have the erections of an 18-year-old.
Wow.
That's right, folks.
His stories are so crazy that it takes a paragraph of a headline for them to even set it up.
He kind of keeps getting more hyphens. They're like, he's also the guy who does blood transfusions. He's also the guy that wants to have live forever. He's also the guy who's reversing his actual aging. He's just got too much going on. But as you all know, biohacker Brian Johnson has claimed that he has managed to reverse age his penis by 15 years thanks to his controversial de-aging methods, which include using electric shock therapy to rejuvenate his genitals. Johnson, 46, has raised some eyebrows after sharing his pursuits to live forever, which have included swapping blood with his father and his teenage son. The millionaire isn't only focused on his physical health, revealing he also wears a device on his penis to measure nighttime erections, which he says is indicative of how his health is improving.
Okay.
Johnson's goal is to have the nighttime erection duration of an 18-year-old. The data is very important because it represents overall health.
Didn't know that.
I didn't either. You can go to the gym and build big biceps, he says, or whatever. But people are not familiar that nighttime erections are actually a meaningful health indicator.
And he's right.
I think they're not aware, Brian, because I don't think they are. But amongst other therapies he's used to reverse his age, Johnson explained he uses shock wave therapy to improve his erection duration while he sleeps. And folks, I know a lot of you are out there thinking, how does one measure the age of a boner?
We're honestly all wondering it.
We are all wondering, and I can't believe it's possible, but we may have found the only person on the face of the planet Earth who could answer that question for us. And that is none other than Brian Johnson's doctor himself, Dr. Rick. Dr. Rick, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I do need to set the record straight. However, my name is Dr. Rick. I am not a doctor.
Okay.
Doctor is my first name. I changed it when I started getting into classifying dick age.
I'm sorry.
No, makes sense. I did it for this purpose, but my
to
attorney,
confuse people.
Yeah, my attorney said I do need to be clear. I am not Brian Johnson's doctor. I am his. I'm the one who looks at his dick and I tell him how old it is by the looks of it.
Okay. Okay, so then I guess we can't call you an expert opinion then.
Well, I am an expert. Okay. It's a long story, but I worked at a prep school, a boys' prep school. We got lost on an island for a few years. Very quickly, we resorted to turning our clothes into housing and bedding. So for years, I looked at penis after penis of children from the ages of 6 all the way up to when we got off there, I guess 21.
Okay.
So you witnessed the aging of many penises from many different ages, types, and kinds.
Yes, and so you show me a penis and I can tell you the age within a week.
Okay.
Wait, within a week?
Within a week.
You need a week once you see the picture.
No, I can do it instantly, but if I say they're 17 and then they're actually, 17 in a week, you know what I'm saying? I can get it that specific.
That within a week.
Well, I'm going to tell you this, Dr. Rick. I don't think you should be aging photos of a 17-year-old's penis.
Right, fair, exactly. That's why most people can't do this job.
Right.
That's why I think I'm the only one that I know of. Because again, every penis I've seen throughout my life was consensual. We were stranded on an island.
Right.
And after 2 days on an island, when everyone's naked all the time, looking at a penis is like looking at a shoulder. Believe me. So yes, I can identify penis age, and that's where I'm here to help my man, Millionaire Brian Johnson.
Is this your only? I mean, this seems to be the only person who's asking for this, right?
Currently, yes. Currently, I have a whole category on my website of my different skills. He was the only one who ever clicked on this one so far. But I'm hoping that as the story continues to get out, more and more people will want me to, name the age of their penis.
Right. What? I guess my questions are. I want to get to the nitty gritty of it.
Sure, of course.
What are these sort of age indicators of a penis? Obviously, Brian seems to be obsessed with like the hardness and
how long you can have a boner.
How long you can have
sleep.
a boner while you're asleep.
Yeah,
but what are the age indicators that you're specifically looking for?
Great
Dr.
question.
Reed?
Great question. He's very focused on nighttime erections. He keeps. The man walked into my house, looked like the villain from Ghostbusters 2.
He does.
He really does.
The one in the painting.
The one in the painting.
Vigo.
Yeah. The old one in the painting that's somehow is supposed to be young the way he wears it. I don't know. But he kept talking about nighttime erections. Now, some of us know aging like a tree. We all know if you cut a tree in half, you can count the rings, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Unfortunately, nothing like that happens with a penis. If so, I don't know. I never cut one in half. I just looked at them constantly while I was stranded on an island searching for food and to get home. So for me, I'm looking at folds. I'm looking at skin tone. I'm looking at how smooth it appears to be, as close as they'll let me look.
So it's very surface-minded.
It's very surface-minded. Yeah. I'm not as focused with the internal workings of the penis. It's more just like how it is presented to me.
And it does.
Right.
And you have seen it de-age by, at your estimate, 15 years?
15 years, that was my estimate. Yeah, and I think that is why this job is important, because of course millionaires, they get things that they want, right? So if he goes up to his lackey and says, "Hey, tell the press I have an 18-year-old penis," they'll probably do that for him. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that's where you got to bring
absolutely.
in a specialist like me, because he came down to me. He's talking about nighttime erections. He actually said we all know there's 3 important things you need to know: how much you weigh, how fast you're aging, and the amount of your nighttime erections. That's a real thing this man actually believes. And I said, okay, just show it to me. I said, let's not talk so much, just show it to me. And he said, do you think 18? Do you think this looks like 18? I said, honestly, best I can do is 31. And that is
negotiations.
He's 46, and so that was the 15 years.
And you only saw it the one time? You haven't been like incrementally doing it as he's doing it? It was just a one and done, like, let me get this.
I will honestly look at it anytime he wants me to. Anytime he pays me, I'm available.
You're not on retainer or anything. It's kind of just like a freelance gig sort of situation he brings to it.
I know. I wish there's a way that he, if he wanted more updates, I would be available for those updates. I think he wants to kind of work on it for a couple of weeks or a month, then come back to me. Work on it for a couple of weeks or a month, then come back to me.
Gotcha.
And so we settled on 31. I feel confident that is a 31-year-old penis. Of course, most of my expertise again is from 6 to 22. It's a little harder to look at your own penis, and I just I mean, maybe now that I'm around mirrors more, I could study my own. But when I was stranded on a desert island, it's a whole different angle to look at your own. So. But so from what I remember, and then I have started doing some research, obviously, now that this is a skill set, I have started looking at more adult male penises. So that it looked solidly 31 to me.
That's good. Yeah,
That's good. Yeah, expanding your sort of visual vocabulary.
Yeah, once this becomes your job, you got to jump all in. That's what I.
Which I'd hesitate to call it your job, Dr. Rick.
And so does everyone. Yeah.
But did you get paid once?
I did for him. Yes, I did.
That's a job.
But I think I didn't know he was a millionaire till after, so I'm kicking myself for what I charged.
How much was that?
I did $75. I thought that felt fair.
Did you have to go out to him too? Where was this?
No, he came to me again.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
good.
A lot.
Okay.
I've learned that lesson driving around and then no one's there or whatever. So, because I think kids prank. I think some of the kids when we got off the island saw my website. They saw this was the thing I was offering. They started, setting up kind of like you order a fake Domino's pizza to be delivered. And I am sponsored by Domino's.
Well, I was going to say, you mentioned that this was listed on your website as one of your skills.
Yeah.
I did take a look at your website. It says that you are currently employed by Domino's.
That's correct. Yes, that's what I mean by sponsored. They are giving me money for doing a different job.
Right.
But I like to consider that I'm doing that job for volunteering, and then they're actually donating to this cause. So that
Yeah.
So I'm
I
usually
get that.
I do usually smell pretty hard like pizza when I'm doing this. Sometimes I'm even still wearing the shirt. And again, but my name is Dr. Rick. That I think makes people feel more comfortable. My original name was Rickety Rick. My parents are big fans of DJs, so that is why they named me that.
I was going to say if your last name was already Rick or not, because it's an unusual last name, but now I understand because your parents are big fans of DJs.
They were at the time.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yes, absolutely.
Can I ask you, and you can say no.
Okay.
Can I ask you what your age is, and then can I ask you what age you think your penis looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a 45-year-old male,
Okay.
and if I were to, from the angle that I'm looking at it, I'm putting it probably at 62. And again, that's because I had so much.
Dr. Rick.
Well, I had so much sun damage. I was
Right.
I had.
It's sensitive skin.
There was also honestly the first week I was the only adult on the island, and Lord of the Flies got nothing on these kids. You know, they were trying to assert their power, and so they did some pretty brutal stuff to my penis. It's chopped up and cut up in some, some ways. Their first instinct was, let's eat this guy's penis. That was the first thing the kids said once it had been a couple days. And I've never tried to find a bird so hard in my life.
You were like, hang on. There's birds everywhere.
Give me one
There's
day.
got to be birds everywhere.
Just give me one day, I said.
So you found it empowering.
And so then I did found a bird, and so they just kind of cut at it a little bit. Kind of as like a marker for domination, I suppose.
Right. They were kind of like, this is what we could do. We could go further.
Yeah. Just to let me know that while I ran the school class we were in, they're running the island. It was very, very clear.
Jeez, man, Dr. Rick, I know this was probably a very traumatic experience for you. And so I would love to sort of talk more about that experience, but I don't know if you're comfortable kind of diving back into those memories, because being on a deserted island for that long had to have really changed you as a person.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. And I am an open book here. So long as we, again, always do promote that my website has a link where you can click it and I will tell you the age of your penis. But available to discuss anything else. Thank you, Domino's, for having me here.
Yeah.
Like it's just wild to me that this is a thing that somebody could want. And I guess the question that I would be interested to know is what was Brian Johnson's reaction emotionally when you told him the age of his penis? Because obviously it's a thing he cares a lot about. I'm wondering if you told him an answer that he wasn't necessarily jiving with, as saying it's a 31-year-old penis when he wants to be 18.
Yeah, he was pretty furious at first. It's kind of like when you, I don't know, your first instinct is he didn't believe me at all. So then he starts pulling his son's pants down. He's like, well, what about this one? His grandpa. They were there because they were gonna take like a sexy photo together, all in white shirts. I don't know if you clicked the link on the article, but they were there for that after. I lived, as I said, for years on an island with children for survival, and I don't feel bad for any of those children as much as I feel bad for Brian Johnson's son, because there's no chance that kid has any survival skills if he goes to public school, high school. Even if he's homeschooled, his teacher's got to be making fun of him constantly.
Yes, if there is ever a kid, if there's ever been a kid who is going to be ruined by his parent. Mm-hmm. It's Brian Johnson's son.
Yeah.
There's just there's literally no hope for him.
But by that picture that you are referencing, it looks generational, because his dad, grandpa, is embracing him from behind and holding his tummy like it's a pregnancy announcement.
Yeah, I was walking away as they were starting to take the pictures. I did yell, maybe less sexy, like perhaps less touching, like you might regret some of these positions.
Especially the subject of these articles is a lot about your dick.
Exactly. Yeah. But they seem pretty locked into that idea.
And folks, I really have to recommend clicking the link to the article. It'll be in the show description.
It's really necessary.
And just kind of like scroll down about
a mile.
A mile down. And there's just this beautiful picture. If you don't want to go and look, it is essentially 3 generations of the Johnson family, all wearing what I believe are wet white tank tops.
I believe that's correct,
with their hair slicked back, holding each other in a way that looks like a three generation threesome, which it's wild to see.
Yeah,
it's wild that someone would see it and be like, this is the image of our family that I want to have out there.
Exactly. I have noticed it mentions he's married in all of the articles. Never seen her. She is at least protecting herself. I don't know if she's doing anything for her child. Clearly not. I just can't help but imagine thinking my dad is awesome. He's a millionaire. He tells me I'll inherit all this money. Just we got to take some pictures. What's that kid? He can't say no, right? But someone needs to step in.
When a couple of weeks ago, his dad was also like, "Hey son, come here. I'm gonna transfuse your blood with mine."
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. And he takes his dad's too. I don't do that part. I don't even understand. We're trying to get younger.
What was it? Maybe he was putting his dad's blood back into his son to fill his son back
up. Switcheroo. He's doing the old switcheroo. Okay.
And wouldn't you know, they Freaky Friday.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I bet they Freaky Friday.
That's right.
Well, Dr. Rick, I don't want to just talk about this one part of your life, because I think people, as you said, you've got a lot of other pursuits. You've got the Domino's thing going on. Your website is chock full of content, by the way.
Thank you.
I am blown away by how many different pages you have on here.
Yeah.
It says here that you are the head of a community theater company.
That's correct. Yep, that's correct. We are doing Brigadoon in the fall. If anyone is interested, we'll start announcing there on my website. Absolutely. I got a page just of memes. Some of my favorite memes are on there.
I was gonna say none of these are original. This is just kind of aggregate from
those ones I liked. But feel free to you can click them and pay me $1. There is a PayPal and a Venmo link, which interestingly is both owned by Brian Johnson. He acquired both Venmo and PayPal. So anytime you're using one of those, just remember you're giving money to this man.
To shock his dick.
To shock his dick. I can't wait till he comes back in the office. But it's just been the one time I've only made $75 off him.
Right. And I am noticing that everything, like, you have a few other services that you provide. Like, you'll also you say you're very experienced with babysitting, which I think is burying the lead a little bit.
Right. Yeah. It kind of speaks for itself. But yeah, if you can survive a couple of years with a wild kids of all ages, you can sit with a baby, right?
Yeah. Again, I think you are undercharging for those services. Okay. You have a $75 flat rate, no time limit.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought, I was kind of going off the whole Domino's 30 minutes or less. So you get, just one price, and the carry out is better deal. So I was thinking, kind of working off that same system, perhaps a mistake. But honestly, not many people are taking me up on that one because everyone in my community knows what happened to me. They know if I'll look at the next. I put those links right next to each other too. So first one is watch baby. Second one is I'll name the age of your dick. So I think maybe I need to separate them with the memes or something in between.
Yeah, kind of separate the ideas.
Memes between, and maybe the other one where you just it says you just have birds.
That's right. Yep, I have them. Unfortunately, you can't touch them or see them, but you can pay me, and I'll tell you what they're doing. I also, if you have a sandwich, I can smell it and tell you if there's tuna on it.
I was gonna ask you what the fuck that sentence meant.
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was filler text like from like you were making it in Photoshop and it was just the filler text of like, I'll smell your tuna.
No, yeah, I spent a long time trying to word that perfectly. But open to notes. Yeah, just if you have a sandwich and you're worried that there might be tuna on there, or if you made a tuna sandwich and you thought maybe you forgot the tuna, then I can smell it and tell you if in fact there is tuna on there. Again, that is another a skill I developed on the island.
Anybody use that?
My mom does, but I don't even think she has the sandwich. I think she's just giving me a little bit of money. It feels easier that way than me asking for money. It feels better to support me, you know?
Oh, man. Well, Dr. Rick, I mean, what is the long-term play here? Because I don't think you can do any of these things.
Fires.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like any of these are careers.
Fair.
I mean, I could just see a world where I guess if like sort of penis rejuvenation became like an industry, that maybe there would be people who wanted like a before and after assessment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
yeah,
you'd be on the forefront, I guess.
Exactly. What I'm hoping is that, like, of course, the first few articles on this man, we're gonna just make fun of him, right?
Right.
And then eventually it'll become a common thing. In the same way when grunge music first came out, we laughed at it, and then it became the biggest thing, and there's no more Michael Jackson, right?
Were people laughing at Nirvana?
Oh, my father. If you would have heard, he said, what do we got? The guitar's turned upside down? You know, like, I can't, is that distortion, or is that your mom in the other room yelling? You know, just a couple of the things I remember he used to say.
Right.
And so, eventually, I think as people get more used to these news articles, if this man does live forever,
right,
we're doing it, right?
Right.
I mean, not me. I'm fine dying. Actually, I've had enough trauma in my life.
I noticed that sentence at the bottom of your website.
It's on every
I'm
page.
fine dying.
It's on each one of the pages. It's a
Is
footer.
it like the name of your LLC?
No. Honestly, it's just I feel like you trust a man who will tell you the truth, you know?
Because I'm not many times.
Yeah, but I'm not doing this to make more money to live, right? Like I'm doing this because I actually have the skill set. I'm fine dying, you know? Like if it's like, hey, you're not gonna pay me, okay, who gives? I'm gonna die. I don't even mind it.
Were you about to say you're not gonna pay me? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, that's after every domino shift, I say that to my manager. I say, "You don't have to pay me. You're sponsoring my work."
Jeez.
Yeah, but
Dr. Rick,
yeah.
I'm just worried. I'll be honest. Look, I always say on the show that I don't want to pass judgment, or I don't want to like sort of yuck someone's yum, or I don't want to like shit on somebody's dreams, because I've had people shitting on my dreams my whole life.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry to hear
so
that.
I want. Thank you so much. Nobody's ever said that.
Yeah, well.
So I just do want to say that the holistic picture of you is very concerning for me.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe you need to come hang out. Come see it. Come see it up close and personal.
No, look, I don't know. Look,
because again, like if you describe grunge music, of course it's gonna sound crazy. You're gonna make, but if you see grunge up close,
do you do video consults?
Nirvana consults? I don't, unfortunately.
You can't.
Unfortunately, I don't. Yeah,
it's got to be in person.
Yeah, it's got to be in person.
I can't just show you my dick on video.
No, I did buy a laptop just for this recording, and I'm returning it
With
tomorrow.
What money? Oh, okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Thank God.
No, I'm returning it tomorrow. Don't
Okay.
worry. I was looking for a $75 one, but they do not exist.
What'd you make your website on?
That's just at Starbucks. Just like I just ask if I can use the bathroom, and then they usually let me, and then I ask if I can borrow a phone, and then I'm just using Wix.com on a Starbucks employee's cell phone.
Well, but you have to have some kind of like savings or something, because I see behind you you do live in a house.
Yes. No, again, borrowing this. This is a borrow. This is a borrow type situation for this interview. No, I got so comfortable living in the wilderness that that's mostly how I live, not by choice, I should say.
Right. But you've been able to get by.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here, willing to die.
I was gonna say, you paused on that one pretty long
die.
there, Dr. Rick.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird because when you get in a castaway situation, which is what I call it now, it feels like it's helpful for people to reference that. Could call it Lord of the Flies as well. I wish it was
call
Lord of the Fries.
Yes,
That
you
would
say.
have been a whole different trip. I love
man.
that trip.
Yeah, if you'd have washed up on a desert island and it was just covered in French fries, baby, that's heaven for me.
That would be great.
Wow.
No. But they don't give you money when you get back. No, there's no one to sue. There's no one to.
Right.
You can't it's just they're like yay, and then they expect like the town to take care of you, I guess, or the neighborhood to look out for you. Didn't happen.
Obviously not.
Yeah,
man.
It could be all the kids talking about how much I looked at their penises, I suppose. But again, can't make this any clearer than it's.
Yeah, no.
Just his shoulders.
I'll say
just like
this
his
for me.
shoulder.
I was
Just his
gonna
shoulder.
say, I'll say this for me. When you started talking about it, I did get a little bit worried. But then, as the course of this interview has gone on, I have absolutely no questions in my mind about the intentions of your business.
Yes, I don't even want to.
Absolutely none.
I don't even want to use my own penis. It's old. It's cut up. So I'm not interested in that at all. I'm just looking a way to make some money,
right,
until I die.
Well, look, I mean, Dr. Rick, I guess there is like a certain beauty in that sort of outlook on life. Just using your life a little bit until you die. And so I guess we can leave with that sort of that I will call that a positive note. It's the closest thing to a positive note I feel like we're gonna get.
I'll take that. And if there's a new article and there's a new age of his penis at any point in time, know that Dr. Rick stands by that age.
Yeah.
I'm the one
I'll tell you
who
this.
secured it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, Dr. Rick. Based on what I'm seeing on your website, it seems like you could be a good source for all sorts of information in the future if we ever need somebody to come on here.
Please. I'll buy another laptop. I'll borrow someone's house, and I'll be here.
Yeah, we talked about 3 or 4 tabs, and it looks like there's hundreds.
Yeah.
Yeah, those Starbucks employees are loose with their phones, let me tell you. And Wix, can't recommend Wix enough. Unfortunately, not sponsoring me. Domino's is. But,
Hey, we would love to be sponsored by Wix, but
wouldn't that be the dream?
Okay, I have a
incredible.
quick question before we say goodbye.
Sure.
Well, what does the device on his penis that he measures nighttime erections look like?
It kind of it's like can you imagine something that would go over a penis like a
condom?
A shroud?
like a shell? Oh, a condom. Yeah, that's actually better than what I was thinking. Yeah, it's a lot like that. It's great. Oh, you helped answer that in a better way than I was going.
But it's like plugged in or something?
Yeah, it's plugged in. It's got some shocks in there. Again, he came to me, so I didn't see his full setup. But
you really don't have any exposure to the actual
setup.
setup.
I just want to see if you had a peek. Oh, yeah.
No, everything I'm describing is just from my imagination. I don't know. I don't know any more than you do, but. Wow. I read the article, and so that's my guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, geez.
Thanks for being honest.
Yeah, Dr. Rick, thank you so much for being on the show. Before you get out of here, is there anything that you want to plug that you're super into these days, or
sure.
If there's something you've been checking out that you thought was pretty cool recently, or
well,
like
any man who spent a lot of times on a desert island with children, I love improv comedy. And there's a show in Los Angeles, but you can see it anywhere in the world called Holy Shit Improv. You can check them out on Instagram, Holy Shit Improv, or they have a Patreon. You can watch every show they've ever done. Patreon.com/Holy Shit Improv, and they've got whoever you like in comedy, they've done their show. So
that
check
sounds
it
cool.
out. And that's it. And then of course Domino's. Always a good time.
Always worth plugging Domino's, folks.
Order a come on by.
Man, well, Dr. Rick, thank you so much for being on the show. This was very useful insight into this freak, Brian Johnson.
Thank you. And again, offer extends to either of you. If you ever want to know your penis ages, come over to my place.
We'll swing on by in the woods.
Thank you. Yes.